Hey, thanks for making it to Veterans Info Tap. I'm glad you made it. Here are my 3 reasons that the proposed changes from the VA are most likely going to be enacted. I already know that there's a lot of comments out there regarding, hey, look, it's already been a long time. It's been a couple years. It's probably not going to happen. This is not something that's going to look good, so they shouldn't do it because it's just going to have a bad look and nobody wants to be that person. And so I want to kind of go through this with you with, again, my kind of top 3 reasons on why this is probably going to happen. Now, with that, a couple different things. One, for those that don't know, I have created a second channel with a co-host, and that's pretty exciting because we get to bounce things off of each other, and we're doing a one long-form video, kind of a back and forth dialogue on specifically this topic we just covered yesterday, and that channel is Veterans Daily. I'll put that in the comments for those of you that want to have a deeper dive into this topic. Which is very important, right? It's important for a lot of reasons. So for those that don't know, the proposed changes are the elimination of tinnitus, the reduction of sleep apnea, and an actual positive change to mental health. Now, again, I'm going to give you the fast version here, and you can go to the Veterans Daily channel and get your fill. And not just of me talking, but again, the co-host there. So excited for you to check that out. Now, please hit the thumbs up, subscribe, share with a friend, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. If you want to support this channel in other ways, please consider being a member. You can do so by going to the home page. You'll see the highlighted members, and you can hit the join button there. All right, so again, the topic is the proposed changes from the VA. And what they're proposing, and again, this is the kind of the fast version up front here, is the elimination of tinnitus as a rateable condition. They're going to, in the proposal, take tinnitus and view it as a symptom of another condition. So you'll have to find another condition to tie it to. An example off the top of my head would be Meniere's disease. Meniere's disease can have tinnitus, and it causes kind of unbalanced and vertigo type feelings. So that would have to be kind of the direction you go. You find another condition, and then you would have to just use tinnitus as a symptom of that condition. That's the proposal. Now, the other proposed aspect is they're going to view sleep apnea as currently sleep apnea is if you have a CPAP, you're at 50%, which is great. However, if the proposed changes go into effect, they want to make that if your treatment is adequate with your CPAP, you would get a 0%. So whatever they deem adequate, I don't know, but that's kind of the idea. So if you are able to be treated successfully with a CPAP, then they're going to reduce you to a 0, or they would not rate you higher because you are being treated correctly. Then the last thing is the mental health. They're going to eliminate the 0% rating and allow a 10% as the floor for mental health. And they're going to remove the total social and occupational impairment, remove that from the 100% rating. So that's actually a positive, right? So 2 negatives, 1 positive, and Here's kind of my thoughts on this. This was proposed back in 2019, I believe, February of, not 2019, 2022. 2022, it was proposed, okay? So proposed in February of 2022, and really it's kind of been crickets since then. Now, once it got proposed, what happens is, and I'm going to get to my 3 points here. Once it gets proposed, then what happens is it opens up a window for public comment. Now, chances are the majority of you watching this did not supply any public comment because you were not aware. And sadly, I wasn't doing YouTube at that point to push people to know that even is a thing and that you needed to go there and put in your public comment. However, I'm sure that there is public comment. There typically is, and all this stuff. And I'm absolutely sure that the veteran service organizations like VFW, American Legion, all that good stuff, DAV, that they've all put in their public comments and so forth. So That 60-day window closes up, and then the VA digests it, okay? Now, again, this was proposed in 2022, February. We are in January of 2024. It's been a couple years. Again, crickets, okay? Now, let's jump into, so that's where we're at currently, okay? So that's where we're at. Now, here's the three things. Number one, and quite frankly, the last one of my little bullets here that I made for myself is really kind of the screw that tightens this whole thing up. So number one, in the VA's own announcements regarding the proposed changes, they themselves actually indicate that they are changing all of the schedules. So they say that they are changing all rating schedules. For those that don't know, there are rating schedules that outline all of the conditions. It's broke down by body system, and it breaks down all the conditions in that body system and what percentages are going to be allowed for that specific condition based on specific criteria, right? So you might have a 10, 30, 50 for migraines, and that's what you can, depending on your severity, you'll fall in one of those buckets. Now, there are about 15 of those body systems in the schedule of ratings. Okay, the VA states that they are going to change all of them. So that's the number one thing. VA says it. The VA is saying that they are going to do that. They're not saying maybe. They're saying that they are. Okay, so that's the number one thing. The number two aspect that makes me believe that this is going to come to fruition is number two, that the VA has already changed about 9 of the 15 rating schedules over the past, 7 years or so. And in fact, here I pulled it up on their website. Since September 2017, VA has updated the rating schedule for the following body systems. And again, there's 9 of them. They include things like dental and oral conditions, musculoskeletal system, infectious diseases, skin, and so on. So they have already changed 9 of the body systems over the past 7 years. So why aren't they going to continue changing? They're absolutely going to continue changing them. So that's my number 2 point. Number 2 point is they've already changed them. So number 1, they say they're going to change it. Number 2, they've already changed 9 of the 15. So why are they going to stop? So now to my third point on why this is actually going to happen. So for those that say, well, it's already been 2 years, it doesn't look good. They're probably not going to do it. It's not a good look. Well, number 1, it's not a congressional thing. It's not an elected official thing. So it's not an elected official thing directly. It's a VA proposed rule. Well, the secretary of the VA is appointed, not elected. So I guess by default it would be a presidential concern. So my thought is, okay, fine. They'll probably wait until after the election year, just because it's probably going to be a smarter move politically. Then here's my point for number 3. Okay. VA's most recently enacted proposal. Remember, this is a proposed change. It goes through the Federal Register, it gets public comment, and then eventually it will get implemented, right? So the most recent implemented change just happened 3 days ago or something. It was just a few days ago. And it was proposed in 2019. That's 5 years. I mean, who knows? It might have been 4.5. I don't know the exact month. But the bottom line is it was way over 2 years. So it hung out for a long time. It not only did it hang out for a long time before it got enacted, but they also made some revisions based on public comment. So they took the public comment and they went, you know what, that's smart, we'll implement that. Now, one of the things here that they might look at in public comment would be something, let's say, hey, let's not eliminate tinnitus as a rateable condition, but let's make it a 0% by itself. And then it's just a 0%, but that would be a win, in my opinion, much better than an elimination of tinnitus as a rateable condition, because you can still have secondary conditions like migraines or depression and insomnia and anxiety and all those things that you could have as secondary conditions from that 0% tinnitus, if that's what the changes were. But their proposed is to completely eliminate it. Now, what I want to throw out there is that this most recent change that was proposed in 2019 went through the Federal Register, went through public comment, and then took years to get implemented, right, from 2019 to now, 2024. It's regarding compensation, VA compensation, but specifically being received by reservist and National Guard members that have VA ratings, and they're making sure that there's no double dipping involved, and they're eliminating some time back and forth stuff. So instead of giving a 60-day notice that they're going to eliminate a compensation payment while they're receiving their pay, their active duty pay, then they're going to do it with no sort of notice or reply time, right? So the 60-day window just goes away with coordination with the DOD and so forth. So it affects VA compensation is the bottom line, and it's a rule that was proposed. It's a VA rule, just like this other one that we're talking about is. So those are my 3 reasons why I think it's going to go into effect. Again, to recap, number 1, VA says that this is going to happen. There's going to be implemented changes. Number 2, they've already changed 9 out of the 15 rating schedules in the past 7 years. And number 3 is, look, it takes some time. A proposed rule goes in, it goes through the Federal Register and gathers the public comment, and then it sits for a while, then it gets implemented. And the most recent one took 5 years to implement. We're in an election year. On the presidential side, the VA is, part of the president's cabinet, and I just think that politically, I don't know. If I was the president of the United States and the VA had a proposed rule to do something like this, and I was going in for a re-election, I'd say, hey, look, hold off on doing that until after. It would be me. So I'm just thinking that that would politically be the right move. So does it mean that they're not going to implement it now? No, they absolutely could. They could implement it tomorrow, for all I know. And does it mean that it's going to go through exactly like it says? No, they can make changes based on the public comment. Do I think that there will be changes? I believe so. They've already changed 9 out of the 15. Why are they going to stop now? They're moving forward. So with that, we'll end it there. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate you. Have a great one. And remember, if we don't take care of each other, something went wrong.